Hello, welcome to all the Indo-Mexican cycle of the conference 2021. Before starting the lecture, I request to Vashvi to introduce our speaker.
Hello, everyone. Today we have amongst ourselves a very distinguished research scholar, Miss R.Lakshmi. She's a research scholar in ancient history, Center for Historical Studies, JNU, New Delhi. She completed her UG, PG, and MPhil degree in history at Pondicherry University, Puducherry. She has presented more than 10 papers in regional, national, and international level conferences and participated in more than 75 seminars and 25 workshops on diverse topics of historical studies. She has also delivered talk on Heritage Day, April 18, 2021, conducted by Department of History, the Central University of Tamil Nadu at Tiruvarur. She has also published 5 papers so far, one in Indian History Congress held at Jadavpur in 2017, two in South Indian History Congress at Pondi 2014, and Pondicherry 2016, one in International Multidisciplinary Seminar held at Tiruvannamalai 2013, and a national seminar conducted on the birthday of Swami Vivekananda in Pondicherry in 2013. She has received the Best Paper Award in Epigraphy called Dr. Gyaneshwari Devi Memorial Prize in Indian History Congress held at Bhopal in 2018. She is also interested in social religious history of early and early medieval Tamilakam, art history, women history, and folk history. Ma'am, we would like now for you to start your presentation on temple heritage conservation issues and solutions.
Thank you for inviting me to present my paper in Indo-Mexican Cycle of Conference. I have to thank Tariq sir and for this uh, a beautiful opportunity. I will, without much ado, I will go into my presentation. Okay. And the topic of presentation is temple heritage conservation issues and solutions. Heritage means it is defined as the traditions, qualities, and culture of a country that have existed for a long time of its history. It is the full range of our inherited traditions, monuments, objects, and culture. It includes the collection of old things which is historically important and preserving, excavating, displaying, or restoring the old things. It is otherwise known as legacy of our ancestors, or it may be any sort of inherited property or goods from our ancestors over the period of time. However, not all legacies of past generation is heritage. Rather, heritage is a product of a selection by society. Temple heritage. Generally, temple monuments are categorized under structural heritage of Hindu sacred space. The structural heritage is the legacy of cultural resources and intangible attributes of a group or society that is inherited from past generations. In India, we have wide range of temples of gods and goddesses. They are protected by Archaeological Survey of India under Hindu Religious and Charitable Endowment. What is Hindu Religious Endowments Act says? In 1925, the Madras Hindu Religious Endowments Act was passed by the local legislature with the object of providing for better governance and administration of certain religious endowments. Heritage conservation has become a big issue in global society nowadays. More and more people are involved, and consequently, there is a growing interest in training activities in this field. There are training programs held in universities and higher education institutions which enable students and youngsters to involve in the process of heritage conservation. Professionals are also trained in their practical activities with the support of some short term programs conducted by NGOs. What are the issues and solutions? Several centuries old sculptures and pillars with inscriptions have been lying in a state of neglect. In a place such as Pudupalayam, a village about 6 kilometers from Polur in Tiruvannamalai district of Tamil Nadu, for decades now. For the villagers, the cluster of ancient sculptures of gods and goddesses which were lying under an overhead water tank on the outskirts of the village is of no value. So this is ruins of the pillars found at the outside of the temple. And this is a neglected Chola sculptures from the original temple to nearby a tank. This is the sculptures of Saptamatrika. We can see Varahi in the front, and beside there is Vaishnavi and other Matrikas, and behind there is one Dwarapalaka. So these are all from a village uh, temple thrown out of the temple, or a dilapidated temple. It is actually not concerned by any governmental organizations. If we see the group of these sculptures, we found that they are deities enshrined in royal temples. During the heydays of the Chola dynasty, from 9th century to 13th century, Chola dynasty ruled in Chola Mandalam, and we can clearly see Varahi in the front side, who is one of the goddess in the group of 7 mother goddesses called as Saptamatrika. During the early Chola period, Saptamatrika's cult are very famous. Saptamatrikas are housed as deities of Ashtaparivara Devatas in Shiva temples. We can see from 7th century onwards, these temples are very famous. These deities are Puranic deities worshipped all over India. Now they are neglected due to the dilapidated condition of the temple in this heritage site. This is one of the temple found in Pudupalayam in Tamil Nadu, Chengalpattu district. This temple has one of the best sculptures of the Chola period. This is that. You can see Varahi and Chamunda. Chamunda is a very popular deity who is otherwise called as Kali. I'm so sorry. This is not Chamunda. This is a Brahmani. Yes, this is Brahmani. So Brahmani and Varahi is in the group of Saptamatrika, now put in the outer vestibule of this temple. I couldn't go into this temple. That's why I took pictures from outside of the gate. These two sculptures put like Dwarapalakas of the main shrine, Karpagraha. Same with the authorities of the district administration and revenue department, as they left the sculptures and inscription on pillars and slabs unattended for several years. Interestingly, a group of youngsters in the village had dug out a Siva Banam measuring around 13 feet tall 12 years ago near a water body in the village. So this is one of the group of Saptamatrika. Again, we can see in Kanchipuram. These sculptures are definitely from Shiva temple from Ashtaparivara Devatas, found by one of my friend Chennai Sevas Pandya. This is a 1,000-year-old temple demolished in Tamil Nadu. It is also now without any care of Archaeological Survey of India, totally ruined. no worship, no preservation of sculptures. There are so many inscriptions around the temple walls. This temple is in Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu authorities evicted a family from temple in Tanjavur nearly 60 years after encroachment in the temple land. You can see the beautiful Dwarapalakas on either side of the gateway. The Madras High Court had said that the state government cannot use temple land for any purpose other than for holding religious functions. The Madras High Court, responding to grievances raised by devotees regarding the alienation of temple land of two temples in Tamil Nadu, emphasized that temple land can be utilized only for the beneficial purposes of the temple. In the order, the Madras High Court had also directed that the properties of religious institutions, particularly temples, have to be maintained properly. The High Court also observed that temples in Tamil Nadu are not only a source of identification of the ancient culture, but also a testimony of pride and knowledge of the talent in the fields of arts, science, and sculpture. The court also directed the Hindu Religious and Charitable Development Endowment Department to identify and protect all temple lands from encroachers with an officer in charge filing periodical reports. Why a people's movement is the need of the heart to save temples in Tamil Nadu. Many temples constructed at least 1500 years ago or much before the temples recognized by UNESCO are in ruins now. Even the daily rituals are not performed. Some temples remain closed throughout the day with no one to even lighten the lamps in the temple, which was once given lots of donation for the lamps, which is called as Nivandam. But now there is no one to light the lamps in the temple. What is my conclusion here is, as a citizen of the country, we have duties to respect our heritage and culture. Therefore, we should take some immediate action to protect the pride of our ancestors, whose legacy in the form of temples, inscriptions, sculptures, paintings, and other important elements of the temple heritage. We need to create awareness programs among the students of history and general public periodically for the conservation of the temple heritage. Otherwise, we will lose these unique pieces of temple arts and architecture. Already we lost many of such glorious kind of images in idol theft. At least now, for now, we should start the movement of heritage conservation. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, R.Lakshmi, to presenting the very important topic about the conservation of the temple heritage and the iconography. Everyone's talk about the how the reach our Indian culture, and the most of the people thinks about the yeah, it is the heritage and this is our culture. But when we see the roadside sculptures or the ruining temples, this is also most important thing about the culture. We also think about the cultural heritage sites, and we are the archaeological student. We also think and we create the awareness about the public archaeology, and then the awareness. Thank you so much for the important topic. And I'm now
Thank you so
requesting
much.
to, yeah, thank you so much.
Uh,
And now I'm requesting to Vashvi for the vote of thanks.
uh, Thank you, ma'am. Also, if anybody has any doubt or question regarding the above topic, we are sharing email ID of ma'am. You can ask her directly.
Yeah,
Thank you, ma'am, for your expert insight into this topic. We are grateful that you gave us your valuable time. Thank you.
Thank you, Ashvi. Thank you, Tariq. Thank you once again for
thank you
this
so much.
nice talk. Thank you.